Hey, it's been a long time. I haven't recorded anything like this in a while, and I had an idea for a new series, and that is Shelf or Sell. This is a series where I take Blu-rays and DVDs, any movie that I find in a bargain bin, at a Dollar Tree, at a Goodwill, that I bought simply because it was cheap and it looked watchable at the very least. Dollar Trees or Big Lots, and I buy just a ton of DVDs, and I do it a few times, a couple times throughout the year, not too often, where I get cluttered with them. But what I'll do in this series is I'll watch a movie that I bought for $1-2 at most, and see if it deserves a spot on my shelf, where I keep the rest of my Blu-rays and DVDs of very, very good or interesting movies. Not all of them are great, but they're movies that I like keeping there for, maybe I just find them interesting. Like I have Jack and Jill up there. Is that a good movie? No. But it deserves a spot on my shelf because it's kind of interesting to me. So, today's movie is called Sleight. I hope I pronounced that right. Sleight. Maybe it's pronounced Slight. I cannot tell. But this is going to be the first movie I do this with, because I have no problem. Even if I like the movie a little bit, I'll probably still end up selling it. I scratched the mic with the Blu-ray. I'm actually holding Blu-ray in front of me right now. It's in the PS4, but there's still the DVD and digital code in there. And even if I like this movie a fair bit, it's possible I might still put it more on the sell side. One, to save room, and two, because the digital code in it worked. I can watch this movie on YouTube whenever I want now, and I love those. Actually, that's actually part of the reason why I buy so many physical DVDs and Blu-rays now, is because if they have the digital code in it and it works, I'll buy it and just probably give it to a friend, or donate it to Goodwill, or just try to sell it at half-price books eventually when I collect enough of them to get some lunch money out of it. But I'm going to Sleight first because it has a lot of good things going for it that many of these other dollar store movies don't. And that's it has a very high Rotten Tomatoes score, at least by Dollar Tree standards. It's at a 77% last I checked, I believe. And it has a lot of good quotes on the back. This is a really weird quote. It says, "A gritty, impressive superhero saga that is like Spider-Man meets Boys in the Hood." Really odd combination. But I think this is generally regarded as a decent movie, based on what I've seen of what little research I've done towards it. Looks exciting. I'm hoping that it's not super generic or anything. I'm hoping that it's does some things that make it stand out. But I haven't watched it yet. I have the Blu-ray ready on my PS4 right now. I'm going to watch it, come back and record some more, and when I'm done, I'll tell you if it goes on the shelf to keep or if I sell it and get a bit of my money back. Yeah, I'm not keeping this. Where do I even start? This movie is super generic and boring. It's just the same garbage that we've seen before. Like, it's just, young boy, his parents die. God bless him, whatever. And he becomes a drug dealer in order to support him and his little sister. And it's a lot like Rambo Last Blood in a few ways, like the new Rambo movie that came out last year. It feels a lot like that, where nothing that interesting happens until like the final act of the movie, the last third of the movie, where things get like 10% more interesting because it has to, or else it'll lose your interest. And it does a terrible job at keeping your interest for the first hour of the movie anyways. It's just like a generic drug movie where, the main character is just only motivated by edgy, tough drug dealers that will totally kill him and his family if he doesn't get them their money that he owes them, which is, nothing original. Even the superhero aspect of this movie is completely bland. I don't know where they went to compare this movie to Spider-Man, like on the back, it's nothing like Spider-Man. The powers are not similar to Spider-Man. The themes and tone is not similar to Spider-Man. The only thing in this movie that's kind of similar to Spider-Man is, in fact, it's very similar to almost any superhero movie, is that halfway through the movie, he goes to someone he used to know, this old wise teacher, that helps him improve his powers. He gets an upgrade halfway through the movie. And that part's neat. It has its moments where it's kind of okay, but I never felt like I cared enough or was invested at all. I don't even think the people making this movie really... They knew they were making something that wasn't going to be great, right? Like the girl in this movie, the love interest, who, keeps the main character a bit of company in this movie. She has a different haircut on the cover of the Blu-ray than in the movie. She never has this haircut in the whole movie. She doesn't have bangs like this. I don't even know if it's the same woman. I don't know. It had a nice and diverse cast. It was visually appealing. It's an attractive movie most of the time. I feel like the director would have a lot of potential with a nicer story, but you can tell they just didn't know what to do with this movie. I don't know why it exists. Right off the bat, you can kind of tell what kind of movie this is going to be based on two logos. The logos for this movie come up with WWE Studios and Blumhouse. They're no A24, they're not great. Blumhouse, they produced, I think they had something to do with Upgrade, and Upgrade was a really good movie, but usually if you see a Blumhouse logo or a WWE logo, that's a quick green light to just turn the movie off or not watch it or not pay that much attention to it. I want to find someone I can recommend this movie to. I want to find merit in this movie's existence or a reason why anyone should watch it. I guess maybe if a teenager could enjoy it, this movie would be fine to watch on a car ride. If you need to put something on in the background while you're doing homework, it'd be fine. It's really just not that worth it. Now, was it worth $1? Sure. But I'm not going to keep it. I only ever donate things if they're still sealed. Like at the end of the year, I'll collect a bunch of cheap DVDs throughout the year. And at the end of the year, I take them to my local police department, and they donate them to needy families that can't afford Christmas presents. I've already cracked open this Blu-ray so I can watch it and get the code out of it and everything. So I'm not going to donate it because I don't like donating things that have been opened. So I think this is for sure a member of the sell pile. I'm glad I have this movie on digital now, actually. I welcome having the digital code in my YouTube collection in case I ever need something to put on or fall asleep to or anything like that. It's just not a good movie. I would never present this to someone as I would never present this movie to someone else as something impressive or interesting. It's just one of those movies that you put on TV and you don't think about it after it's over. So that's my opinion on Sleight. They never said this movie title in the movie. They never said it. I don't know what it means. If you want to follow me and listen to my opinion on more movies and get more review scores and written reviews on movies, especially movies that I found in the dollar store, movies I see in theaters, or movies I watch with friends. Follow me on Letterboxd. Link will be in description. I love Letterboxd. It's really fun to use. There are some more, the higher ups on Letterboxd can be a bit pretentious. It's hard to find people worth following on there. It can turn into a circle jerk sometimes, but overall, I think Letterboxd is a fun app to use, and I'm constantly remembering movies I've seen, rating them, rating things I watch, and stuff like that, and it's a lot of fun. I hope you go follow me on Letterboxd, and I've got Twitter and stuff if you want that, but I'm not worried about that. I want you to follow me on Letterboxd. I think that's a lot more fun. Subscribe, like the video, and come back for more sometime if you want to listen to me talk about more dollar store bargain bin movies, and tell you if they're worth keeping or not. But for now, this has been Sleight. Not worth keeping, not terrible, but not worth keeping. Thanks for listening. See you around.